Hello everyone. Welcome to the We Made It podcast. I'm Jenna. I co-host this lovely show with Mr. Colin, and this week we have a guest named Megan on with us.
Hi.
Hi Megan, and I will introduce her a little bit more, but I did warn her before the episode started. We do have a giveaway winner to announce. And so I'm going to hop on and do that immediately so that
Of the thousands of entries, I wish you all
thousands of
the
entries.
best of luck.
All right. So I'm recording my screen at the same time so that I can post this on the Instagrams later. I don't know if this is. Can I share this? Tap to spin. Here we go. Oh my God. Oh my God. Megan's like, I hope it's me.
It is me.
It is. It is. It's Megan. Megan,
Jenna,
you
you're way too
won.
close to the
Yay.
mic.
Sorry. Sorry. It's like,
It's,
ah.
you're gonna blow up people's speakers. Oh man, that's so
They'll be
funny.
like, I can never hear her. Congratulations. We
Megan,
She
I
knows
also want to
immediately.
congratulate you for manifesting your destiny. That was
I,
incredible.
That's amazing. Okay, so
I always
Megan,
try to.
yay. I'm so excited. This is the best. Megan, you have won two lovely books. One of them is from, I don't know if you listened to this episode. Megan's an avid listener, guys.
Yes.
The episode with Leroy. He is of many things an author, and he wrote this lovely book that we're giving away. He calls it his his best work so far. Am I
Oh,
right in
great.
saying that, Colin?
He says this is the book he's put the most work
The most
into.
effort. Okay. Yes.
So I think he wanted that one to kind of hopefully
Yeah.
shine amongst, and it's probably the least sex driven one.
Yeah, he's got a
Uh,
lot of naughty novels, so yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You could
he's
get
into
into
the
that too if you
spicy
want.
talk.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Spicy talk. Yes, spicy book talk. And then a copy of Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. Have you read any of these before?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm
So
so excited.
looking forward to it. I do love
Yes.
to read, so that's great. And
I
honestly, I just read a lot of true crime and fiction crime, so something a little different would be good.
Yeah. Well, this will be interesting. Colin, you read Eternus.
Reading.
Reading.
Just
Sorry.
to be honest, I just
Reading.
want to set expectations.
Yeah. Um, and you've been enjoying it from what I gather. So
Yeah, it's I think writing is a tricky thing. Um, if you want to, we've all done short stories before, and it's like, Colin went to the market. Colin bought a steak. The steak was red. Colin was really happy. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
like, Colin went to the market. It hasn't been meat day for a long time, so now that they've got a bit of extra money, they can afford red meat, and it's really difficult to set the scene and communicate everything you need to communicate to the reader without it being blocky and chunky and a little just over the head. And I feel like Leroy does a really good job of rounding out the edges, making it seem like it kind of just immerses you there. You're not really thinking about what you need to know. You're just okay to be given the information you have, and you're happy to find it along the way, kind of thing. I don't know.
And you were saying there's a bit of a couple. I don't want to ruin anything, but there's some plot twists in there. Yeah,
That's what he
All
said.
right.
pretty good. Pretty good. I will deliver these by hand to you.
I'm looking forward to
Oh,
it.
so that's our
Thank you.
50th and our 100th giveaway done by hand. The
Yeah.
first,
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
Mm-hmm.
By hand.
Oh, I'm
For
sorry I
you.
missed the 50th.
Alexander Keith drew those labels by hand.
Oh, yeah, no, Megan, that was long before we knew each other. Which leads into you as our guest today. Oh my gosh, I'm so pleased. Everybody's gonna get to hear this and get to know Megan better. Megan is the the best. I know Megan because when we first moved here, I was very much pregnant and I was desperate to find childcare for Anson so that I could have days where I could go home and nap.
Aw, yes.
and and I found Megan through the good graces of Facebook mom groups in this area, and you had, I think, some daycare spots open. And I was like, oh my God, you were kind of just opening your daycare in the area.
Yes.
We both, I think, related to being new to the area.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just been delightful ever since. Um, yeah, where to start, Megan? I feel like you have such a story. I like I was telling you earlier, I'm just skimming the surface at the moment. Um, but I will share
Yeah.
this with Colin and our listeners. You also play euchre.
Yes.
Oh,
She's in.
Yes.
fucking love euchre.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I heard that Jenna's just learning though.
Mhm.
She's
So,
doing great though. She's doing really great. Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
absolutely
Thanks.
fantastic.
All right.
Thanks.
We'll have to test it out. Yes,
Yeah.
I love
I'll be
euchre
like,
and all card games. Yes.
Yeah, card games are the
Yeah.
best. Just
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
best.
Yeah. So I like I don't know if you want to get into origin story, Megan, but like perhaps we could start with what inspired you to open your daycare, where your
Oh,
knowledge base came from before that.
sure.
Do you like
Just got
living in
YouTube on in the
Northumberland?
background the whole time, like how to daycare.
Yeah.
It's like the
No.
cooking shows you're trying to keep up. You know what I mean?
I think I could be the one making the how-to
You
videos.
should.
Gee, you
And
could. Oh my god.
here's why you should. I just saw the greatest TikTok of this guy drinking whiskey straight out of the bottle because he's like, when you're working so hard to make everyone else's dreams come true, and then you realize that Miss Rachel made $1 million a month last year,
Oh my god, for
and it
real?
takes it's just disgusting.
Oh, Miss
You kn-
Rachel. I mean, good for her.
She's a
Mhm.
she's a gift. She's a gift to moms and children everywhere though. She is.
Truly,
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I started my home daycare here in Port Hope in, was it the beginning of 2022?
2021. Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, no, yes, you're
No, I
right.
believe it was
So
the first week of January 2022. You would have had
I had
Isla was
Isla.
just a few months old then, right? 2 months
Yes.
old. Yes.
Yes.
3 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh
Um,
my god. That's
I know.
crazy.
It's 2025 now.
You blinked
Yeah.
and it's fucking over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. So, I actually opened the home daycare because I had been working selling life insurance for Sun Life for a year. That was a
That's
thing
not
that
your
I got
lane.
into. You know what? I do feel passionate about life insurance. Oh my God, there's a cat.
We have a
That's
guest.
fine. Cats are welcome. That's quite all right.
She likes when I talk and sing. Um,
So she's
so
like, I'm here for it. Yeah.
yeah, she's into this.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, I'm totally for promoting life insurance and all that. And that was a license that I got over during COVID,
Okay.
because I had free time. So actually, at when COVID happened, I was actually cleaning houses for a living. So I
Mhm.
had worked in daycare as an early childhood educator from 2007 until 2018,
Mhm.
when I had burnout big time because my son Wyatt was three, yes,
That's
three
like,
going on four, and I
yeah.
was working in a preschool room at the time. So I worked on the military base in Trenton at their military daycare, the
Mhm.
MFRC. Um, so I was working with
I have
kids.
many questions about your experience at the MFRC, just for
I
later.
For later. Okay.
honestly, yes, that it is a unique lifestyle being immersed in the military community. Yes. Uh, anyway, so I got burnout, and I had some of some of the daycare families had me come and babysit for them. And Wyatt was little, and I was actually a single mom at the time, with him, so I was trying to make money anywhere that I could. So
Yep.
one of the moms that I was babysitting for, uh, she was so busy, an entrepreneur, just building her business, being a mom, and she just did not clean her house. So every
No
time I would
time.
go
Yeah.
there to babysit, I would also clean. And then she's like, "Can I pay you to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. I love
You
that. I
sure
love
fucking
cleaning."
can.
Yeah. And and that actually led to me getting enough people who wanted me to clean for them that I could leave the MFRC. And that was a big thing. It was a unionized position. I had seniority. Um, but you really truly get burnout easily in that field, in the field of early childhood education, but
Yes.
especially when your own kids are young, because
Okay.
it's just the division of energy isn't, an appropriate balance. Most of your
No.
energy is given to everyone else's children during the day, and then you go home and you're
Yeah.
too tired to do the
Yeah.
same thing over again, right?
Yeah.
So I was cleaning houses until COVID happened, and at during that time I actually moved in with Alex, who lived
Mhm.
in Coburg at the time, and we brought
Mhm.
our families together. And actually, Colin and
Family's
anybody
families.
listening, Alex adopted Wyatt in when Wyatt was 5, 4,
I
turning
didn't
5,
know
something like that.
that.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
yes. Yeah, so that's
Love
really
that.
special. So our families came together, and the cleaning business was really working for me. We were living in a little condo in Coburg that was too small for us, but very, very affordable. So I
Mhm.
was able, when Wyatt started junior kindergarten, I could drive him to school and pick him up from school. After having worked in daycare, I didn't want him to be in before and after care. I used to run that. I know how long those days are. Those kids are in the same building, for 10 hours a day, and it's too long. So
It's long. Yeah.
the cleaning thing worked for me. COVID happened. During COVID, I got my mortgage agent license
Mhm.
because I thought maybe I might like to do that. And then I
Mhm.
did my life insurance license and investments as well. And I was steered, on the advice of someone, I was steered away from the mortgages and towards the life insurance. At the end of the day, neither are for me, but I did
Okay.
have a year with Sun Life that paid the bills for the time, but commission based. And I never even met my bosses. We spoke
Yeah.
like this through Zoom. I literally
That's
didn't meet any of them in person. Yeah, I
yeah.
remember saying once on a Zoom call, like, you guys have no idea that I'm 5'1", right? Like, you don't know because you've
Yeah.
only seen me like this. Like, I'm
Yeah.
really short. You don't know that
Yeah.
about me,
Yeah.
right? It's so interesting. I might pass them on the
Wow.
street and not know who they were, but it
Totally. Yeah.
it was a really challenging time. In the fall, after, like, I'd started in January with Sun Life, and when fall came, I had exhausted all of the immediate options that I had, for presenting business to people and making sales and things like that.
Mhm.
It's not for me. So I said to Alex, like, I can't do it anymore. He's super supportive. He also got a new job after being at the same place for, I don't know, 8 years maybe. He got a new job doing something completely different, and supported me saying, I'm
Yeah.
not doing Sun Life anymore.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? We know that, cleaning houses is consistent work, but it is backbreaking, and I wouldn't
It's labor
stop. I would,
intensive. Yeah.
yes, I would fit every single hour that I could in the day to do as much as I could, which is kind of what I do now with daycare too. But
Yeah.
um,
But you have boundaries, and I think that maybe you can get
thank
into
you.
that more. But I feel
Yeah.
like maybe it's us, but like I feel like you hold clear boundaries, and that's healthy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to be like that to run your own business of any kind, I think, right? You
Totally. Totally.
you have to be able to say no to people. You have to be able to separate emotion and business,
Mhm.
which can be
Mhm.
tricky, especially actually working with families. But
Yeah.
but yeah. So just to quickly say, I put out a poll on I Love Fort Hope, the Facebook group, to see what the need was for childcare in the area, because I thought, Wyatt was older at the time, and you know I'm I'm very lucky. He's a really easy child. He does not cause me any stress in my life other than the regular worries. He's great. So
Mhm.
when I discovered what a need there was for childcare in this area, I was like,
Massive.
okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to open a daycare in 2 weeks then. And
Mhm.
it just so happens that our house is laid out perfectly for it, as you know, Jenna. And
Mhm. You
yeah,
have the
so
perfect space for it. Yeah.
yeah, so it was a good choice. It's not going to be a forever thing, but for now,
Mhm.
it's definitely working well. So
Yeah, and I know for us it was like you had such a in-depth background with kids before it was like a no-brainer. I'm like she probably knows how to like take care of them better than we do. Like I don't know what I'm doing, so hopefully she does. But yeah, no, and there is such a desperate need as you know, Megan, for childcare. I feel like if a spot opens up at your place, I'm sure people are knocking or you have a wait list if
yeah,
I understand correctly. So
yes,
yeah, it's pretty wild.
yes. It makes it nice for me because I was able to really choose incredible families, right? Everyone's
Right?
amazing because there
Yeah.
are so many people who need it.
Yeah.
I was able to be choosy, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
beneficial. My mom was a babysitter, nanny, whatever, for a very long
Yeah.
time. And some people's children are just the worst. You know what I mean? Like,
The worst.
and I don't know that.
Probably because their parents are though.
Oh no, for real. Like it's their fault, 100%.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
sometimes you don't realize that until you have the kids. People put on a
Mhm.
brave face and they can fool you, but it's nice that you were able to be discerning with your clientele.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, I imagine even the good days are quite long.
Yes.
And
That's accurate. Yes.
yeah.
So do you have?
Can I share a story about what happened with I won't name names or anything, but there was one child that
Yeah.
had a few accidents in the 15 minutes that I was there one day. uh
Accidents like injuries
no,
or
no, no, not injuries.
oh.
No. There was like throw up involved. There was a couple things and I was just like, "Oh no, Megan, this is rough." And you were like, "This happens all the time." You were just like I don't want to say unfazed, like you were definitely still like very much aware of what was happening, but it was how you handle it. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, you're so amazing." Like I
Wow,
don't know how
thank
you do
you. I
it.
felt
Well,
really
and then the
bad
door
that
closes and the face changes.
Ah!
Listen here, you little shit. That's 3 times on my rug.
Yeah, yes.
Oh
That's
man.
exactly what happens now.
Real
Yeah.
Trunchbull type
I did
situation.
Real
feel
trunchbull. Oh
Oh my
god.
goodness, no. Definitely
Oh
not
my
her.
gosh. Trunchbull's the worst.
Yeah, yeah, that you came in when a lot was happening and
Ow.
I felt bad because you could read my face. It wasn't the
Oh.
same delightful morning drop off. I was just like, okay, we'll just move through this half hour of the day and get to the next one.
This is how we're starting the day. Okay, just going for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like that you get to work from home?
I I love more things about it than the things I dislike. Like there are
That's
more
fair.
benefits to it.
Mhm.
But it can be really challenging. The good thing is our laundry is always done
Mhm.
because I can wash, dry, fold, put away a load of laundry before all the kids are even dropped off in the morning. And if I do it every day, which I do,
Mhm.
there's never dirty laundry. So that's great. And
That's
for the
like
most part, I can always have dinner made.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I became a crazy cat lady apparently in the past couple of years because we went from just having one cat to having three cats and a dog. But
Whoa.
Really?
that's but but since I do daycare, the children love it,
Of
I love
course.
it, the
Yeah.
pets love it. I'm here for them, which is huge. I couldn't imagine if I were working 10 hours every day and had a dog at home by himself,
Mhm.
so
I've
that
got a
works out
full-time
well.
job and I also can't imagine working 10 hours a day. Hard pass. Hard
Sounds
pass.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
Uh,
insane.
it doesn't always feel like work when you are at home, I guess, in the environment that it is, right? Because I can turn on my favorite songs and dance and have a great
That's a
Mhm.
great thing
time.
though,
And
right? Like
yeah,
things don't have to feel like work to be work. And
yeah,
that's nice. I hate the idea that in order for it to be work or considered work or whatever, it needs to fit this specific mold of something.
Yes.
So I think that's fantastic that you're able to experience that. I was wondering too if maybe because you work from home, do you ever feel the need to get out of the house more, to be away from it?
Yeah.
Do you feel
Yes.
cooped up often?
I feel what I believe to be my version of cabin fever a lot,
Mhm.
especially this winter. This winter has been so long and so dark, and I haven't been going out much, but I really, really need adult interaction. I need social time.
Mhm.
I play baseball in the summer. I play volleyball in the winter. Kind of injured right now, so not playing volleyball, and I miss that. But to be honest, I'm really tired. So oftentimes people will invite me out to do social things,
Yeah.
and I really want to, but
You just
Saturday
are
at 7
pooped.
p.m., I am just done because
Yeah, can we move to like 2 p.m. somewhere during the middle of
Yeah,
the day?
you're
Or
like, I have energy
yeah,
still. Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really, really hard to find that balance. I think with running any business yourself, right? Any entrepreneur, whatever the field may be, I think it's really hard to put your own needs for rest ahead of the needs of the business. So
Yeah. You
that's
said it.
so
a
what
weakness for me.
I was gonna okay, that
Right.
answers the question. I was gonna ask you if you've built any systems in order to address those needs, because you're absolutely right. I think most people don't put themselves first
Mhm.
Yeah.
when it comes
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
caring about people.
Yeah, no, I don't have a system. I tell the dentist office every time they call, remember, I run a daycare. I can't just take a day off to get my teeth cleaned.
Yeah,
Mhm. You're
seriously.
like,
Like,
squeeze me in. Yeah.
they don't understand it, but no, it can be really challenging because not only am I, my own financial loss, which is just one separate thing on its own, but there's 5 families showing up in a day who I'm affecting. So their work schedule or their appointments or whatever it may be, for me to take any time off, it affects a lot of people. And I have 5 in a day, but I actually have 9 daycare families that fill the 5 full-time spaces. So a
Right.
lot of
Oh my
people
gosh,
are
that's right. Yeah.
impacted by my schedule, right? So I try, as you know, to work as much as I possibly can. And
You're
I'll
so
take care of myself in
considerate.
a couple years.
Oh, Megan. I feel like something I don't want to say that shocked me, but y- you typically go to Florida in March. Like I you've done it every
Yeah.
year and it I don't want to say it upset me, but this year
This
you
year.
were like, "Oh, I'm not going." And
Fuck yeah.
I was like, but you
But why
always go. I was
not?
like, "Why not?" No, well, yeah, cuz then my brain goes, "I'm concerned." Cuz I obviously you're like daycare Megan, but you're also I feel like there's part of you that's like my friend Megan. And so
Thank
I'm like
you.
the part of me that's like my friend Megan, I'm like I'm concerned for her because I know that she needs
Hmm.
this downtime and that's typically
Yeah.
when you would get it cuz you like you said you would go down with your friends and you would get to recharge and I don't mean to I feel like I'm rubbing it in that you're
It's
not going this year, but
okay.
I'm like I'm sad. So yeah, I think I don't know what that looks like for other people. Are you in like do you talk to other care providers? Like do you guys share like
Do you have
ideas and things
substitute
and
teachers type
What
things?
a
substitute teach? Yeah, yeah.
what a great question. So,
Yeah.
actually, my best friend Megan also runs a home daycare,
Okay.
and so we
Megan too.
worked. Yes, yes. Uh, my hair naturally is black, and I hope this joke goes over well since we're live, but and my friend Megan's hair is naturally very blonde, and we worked together in a school age program in Trenton through the MFRC, and the
Okay.
kids used to call us Black Megan and White Megan.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Anyway,
Could not get away with that now. Yeah.
no.
So just
So
for
Oh
the
man.
episode title, do you prefer Black Megan or White Megan? Just
I'll let you decide.
Oh
Anyway,
man.
so Megan lived in Trenton when I was still working on the base, and she opened her home daycare. She had her son the same year that I did, 8 months
Okay.
to the day before Wyatt. So Landon was born
Whoa.
February 14th. I found out I was pregnant 2 days later. Wyatt was born October 14th, and they are best buds, and Megan and I are best friends. But
Aw.
so she lives in Petawawa because that's where her husband's posted right now. They're
Mhm.
getting hopefully getting a posting message back to Trenton. So that would be
Close
amazing because
again.
it's
Yeah.
been a long time, yeah. But I talk with her a lot when I'm trying to make a decision about policies with the daycare or things like that.
Mhm.
But she does hers a little differently. She actually only works 3 days a week and
Okay.
shorter hours, and
Okay.
it works for their family. She has a younger child too, though, so who isn't
Yeah.
in school yet, so that
Yeah.
makes sense. But and then I have another friend, Alyssa, who ran a home daycare for years after we were in college together, and
Mhm.
worked together a little bit at the MFRC, and then she ran a daycare in Warkworth for a long time. So we would, kind of bounce things off of each other, and I remember helping them write up their contracts before I ever even considered. I never thought I would do home daycare, never.
You're like,
But
oh no, never.
but I
Yeah.
was like, I'll write your contracts for you, no problem. I'll tell you what to tell people. But
Yeah.
no, so there are people that I would ask, but there's actually a great
Bit of a
group that
network. Yeah.
yeah, and there's a group in Port Hope, that another local home daycare provider created for all of the unlicensed home daycare providers to be able to talk to each other, share, planning
That's
ideas,
great.
things like that,
Yeah.
yeah, and just kind of, I wouldn't say there have ever been any real issues with any families or anything, but if something small comes up and they'll say, how would you approach this, or how would you word this? And it's good to have that support, I think. And that would be, something that I would say is really positive about being on Facebook. I'm not a huge Facebook fan, but things
Mm.
like that really
It's
help
great for those
for
things
sure.
that you
Yeah.
create.
A
Yeah.
double-edged
Was that a
sword, because
question?
yeah, I did raise my hand
Oh.
and politely waited my turn.
Okay.
Oh,
What's
sorry.
what's the what's the difference between licensed and unlicensed?
Mm.
Oh, great question.
Well, from like
So,
the the daycare e and the daycare point of view, I guess.
okay. So if you are licensed, it means that through the ministry, there's an agency, that would be connected through the ministry to be able to provide licenses to home daycares, and they would oversee everything. So they would obviously confirm that your property is safe and up to code for, health and fire and safety, um, all things like that. They would also have the contracts made, and they would pay you. So people pay this
Oh,
agency, and then you're like an employee of them. So there are a lot of people who are very well suited to that type of home daycare. Being licensed, other than that, it's not any
It's
different
the
than another
same,
home
right?
daycare. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're still at your house working on your own. You can have 6 children if you're licensed. You can have 5 if you're unlicensed. I believe that I believe I'm telling the truth with that, though I don't know. I haven't read about it in the
that
past year or
sounds
two.
so dumb.
Um, yeah. So, and you also can be licensed without being an early childhood educator, which I think is odd, because when you work in a daycare, each program needs to have a registered ECE. So I'm not sure how that really works for licensed
So
home
like,
daycares.
uh, yeah, I was gonna say like, so me don't have any accreditation. Um, I I would be able to start a daycare, but then I would have to hire an ECE to
No.
run it.
N- No,
Oh,
she's
Oh,
saying
sorry, like a center? Yes. Yes.
kind of, but in
Yeah.
my house, is that
Oh, no.
no. What
No,
what
not
I'm
in
what
your
I'm hearing
house.
is it, you can be licensed and not be an ECE, and that's just the point.
Yes.
okay?
So, because
Yes.
Okay,
other licensed
You
daycares
could
have
just
ECEs, why aren't licensed
home
individual
daycares.
daycares
Yes. Yeah.
also ECEs?
Yeah. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay,
I believe that most of them are. And you know what? I could be wrong. I won't spend too much time on this because I don't want to
on
say
the
the wrong
technical,
thing.
sure.
But I'm pretty sure there are licensed home daycares where the providers did not graduate from ECE. I'm pretty sure.
Mm.
Anyway, that's
So,
fine.
yeah. If
So
people are very curious, all of this is available on the
yes,
ministry's website, I think,
yes,
right?
it
Yeah.
absolutely
So
is. Yes,
if we're
yeah,
looking for some technical.
yes. So that being said, I do not want to be a licensed daycare. Like I said, I have 9 different families. I accommodate part-time families, and if you're looking at a licensed daycare, that's not happening. Everyone
Yeah.
will be full-time. Everyone
Sounds
will
like a
have to pay.
scam.
They have to pay all the time, no matter what. And while I'm mostly like that, I don't charge for my time off. I don't charge for holidays. I don't charge if someone has planned vacation. I don't charge them for that to keep their spot, because when you have so many part-time families, it's really easy to say, "Hey, Jenna, I have an extra day this week. Did you want to take it?" You know?
Do you want
So,
to sub in? Yeah.
yeah, and I
Fuck yeah, take them.
having been a mother needing childcare, I see the need for that flexibility, and I love that I can offer that. And
Mhm.
if being licensed meant that I couldn't, I wouldn't want that. And I used to, so the site that I worked at for a big chunk of my years at the MFRC was in a school, St. Mary's School in Trenton, and it was a program called Best Start. And I was heavily involved with all of the licensing inspections because there was
Okay.
not usually a supervisor on site.
Classic.
So, as the full-time staff there with some part-time staff, I maintained all of our files for everything for licensing. So
Mm.
I know exactly what they're looking for, so I don't feel concerned about what's going on at my house, and I don't feel the
Yeah.
need to have someone provide that for me, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
not taking a hit financially just so that someone else can kind of be my boss. I don't, I'm better being my own
I
boss.
agree. I think that makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. Fuck the government
Yeah.
taking all your money. God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like the term unlicensed, I think, doesn't do it justice in the sense that it doesn't mean
Yeah.
uneducated. And I think a lot of
Yes.
people
Or
conflate those
unsafe.
terms, or unsafe. You
Yeah.
still have to follow all of the very stringent ministry regulations that are set out for
Mm.
unlicensed daycares
Yes.
at people's
Yeah.
homes, because this has been happening, I don't want to say since the dawn of time, probably literally yes.
Yes. Yes.
um like, hey, Aunt so and so, can you watch my baby for 10 minutes so I can go pick berries, like back in the
Yes.
day?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now we just have governments telling us this is how you have to do this so that it is safe, which I think is completely valid. um yeah, but
Yeah.
I did want to say I'm really glad that there is a group that you have access to
Yeah, that
that
network is
is,
pretty sweet.
yeah, where you can kind of network and share your thoughts, share your ideas, those kinds of things. Facebook is
It never really occurred to me that there'd be like
really great for that.
you know, a network to share professional knowledge in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god, pardon me.
It's great. Uh-oh.
I don't know what that was. My first thought is like the Babysitters Club's all grown up, and now it's like the mafia of
The mafia
of
of
childcare.
childcare.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know, when
man.
you mentioned Facebook and how you don't like it, I'm not a huge fan either, and I know
Mhm.
Facebook is a really nasty place for people with opinions,
Mm.
Yes.
and I can only imagine, you know, that's one of the potential downfalls of being involved in Facebook is that people could, you know, just start spouting nonsense about
Yeah.
your business, your services, whatever. But then it's also like it's a great way for you guys to protect each other and being like, hey, have
Mhm.
you heard about this client? And then you
Yeah.
can,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
warn them off
For
and say,
sure.
no, grade A cunt, just back off. We're not going to get
If this
involved.
person comes searching for childcare, just say
Yes.
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I
I didn't
and
think
you know
of
what?
it that way either, but yeah.
The biggest thing that I think that other people need is the confidence to stand up for themselves with their business. The
That's true too.
confidence to say, these are my hours. Sorry if you
Mhm.
need till 5:30. I am closing at 5 because I'm also a mom and I have a life, and
Hmm.
I apologize, but you'll have to find care elsewhere. And some people just have a really hard time doing that, which I
Mhm.
understand, but I don't. I've always I've always had, nothing holding me back from expressing my opinions, or
Mhm.
I was union steward at my job, so I took part in
Ah,
some negotiations and things like
yeah.
that, and it's, to me, I think, if someone did want to shit talk me or complain about the way that I'm doing things, that's fine. Go find somewhere else that's better for you, because
Yeah.
I'm not right for everyone, just
Mhm.
like not everyone's right for me. And I'm fine with that. And I don't care. And it's not something I would ever discuss online, but I would happily just say, okay, move on. That's all right.
Yeah.
Someone else will be really happy here, so, but
In
I
that very
haven't had that
sweet voice
happen.
too.
So is that sweet? I don't know.
Have you
Yeah, I think so. Just be happy somewhere else. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
have you had to get rid of clients before?
Yes.
Like like after you've taken them on kind of thing?
Yes. Twice.
Are
So
you, without names or anything, can you give us some rough details? Was it not respecting the rules, the children's behavior, whatever? No
so
column
a
A, no
child,
column B.
you know what? A child's behavior, I don't think that that would ever really be a reason for me to not want them in my care. I'm not turned off by challenging behavior. That's part of the job. That's why I'm here. I want to help, raise good humans, not little assholes. That's what I'm doing. So
And
that's not
I
really.
believe that you have the skills, and I feel like you, yeah, I've never seen you phased by that, so I'm going to second what you just said. Yeah. I
Thank you.
feel like,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So the one of the scenarios, it actually came down to safety, um, and if which I hope can be separated from behavior, because behaviors can lead to safety issues, but this was more just truly me wanting to prevent an accident or anything terrible happening with a child in my care. I
Mm,
had to say, if other interventions weren't taken, getting help that I'd recommended outside of the care that I can provide, and
mhm.
making a plan and working together. It's I don't want to say this because every parent is doing the best they can with what they have, but parents have to be on board to support their children if I'm also supporting their children, right? We have to be
Yeah.
working together.
You can't be the
So,
only one.
yes.
Is that
Yeah,
what
Yeah.
you're
you
like
mean?
the
Yeah.
third parent.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
most of the day. You're there
That's
more than they are.
yes,
Mhm.
and sometimes people do need to be reminded that their children are awake more with me in their life than they are with their parents,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Depending on how frequently they come, but if they come 5 days a week, they spend more time with me awake.
My little Davy would never do that. Trust me. Davy's a shithead.
You know what? I
You
like the
have not
shitheads
seen.
though. I like the shitheads. There were some children that, I looked after 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, who are now like in college, all grown up, the
Right.
most respectable, wonderful little men. And I,
No.
I love that. And
Mhm.
I get to see what they're doing still, and that's so cool,
Just
but
slowly watch the spark of joy in their life get smothered as they grow up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
like,
hoping they still have it, but yeah.
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 Oh.
But yeah, no. So asking someone to leave, no matter what, is difficult. I will tell you, I did have to ask someone to leave, not because of any issue with them at all, but because I had another child on a wait list that I had promised before this other child started. And I
Mm-hmm.
did say there will be
Oh.
someone else taking your space in the future if they do decide to come and no one else leaves. Luckily, it worked out that that sweet little baby got into a center that offered subsidized fees.
Nice.
So
Nice.
his mom obviously, was really upset to have to tell me that, but I fully support saving money if you can. I know he'll be well
Mhm.
cared for there. And I was able to say to the other child, like, guess what? You don't have to leave in May now. So that was
Nice.
wonderful. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, if you tell someone you're going to do something, you have to follow through with it. And
Well,
sometimes,
it's nice that you can lean on your union experience with that last in first out kind of
right.
approach. to get married people.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh. Um, I I'm curious about Megan's early days.
Okay.
Because you were obviously in Trenton for an extended, I would say, period of time. Um, is that the longest you'd lived somewhere? Had you lived elsewhere
I gr-
before that?
I grew up in Napanee.
Okay.
So from
What was life like in Napanee? Do you know Avril Lavigne personally? I heard she was quite
yes,
famous.
yes, yes. So she was just a grade older than me. I
Oh,
knew that
stop.
I
Okay.
knew that you would ask this. So
Okay.
we both,
She's
you
like,
know, I've
I don't know. Yeah.
I met her when I was like 7 because
Oh,
my neighbor who lived behind us, Victoria, was in her class at their school. So she'd have her
whoa.
over for birthday parties. And
Small
then
town. Small town fame.
I was not friends with Avril. I can't take any claim to the connection to fame, but yes,
Yeah,
and we went to high school together for the time that she was there, and
Is she
I've
fake or was she
Sisters.
really into Skater Boys?
she
No
Because this will change my whole
comment.
relationship with her.
I'll tell you more about her not on the live podcast.
We're on here to shit all over famous people.
but
Oh, man.
I think it's wonderful. Her success is amazing, and
Yeah.
the weird conspiracies of her not being alive anymore are not true. She's very much alive.
Yeah, I feel like why are people trying to claim that she died and there's a
I don't
document?
know.
Like, what
Yeah.
People
benefit
are
is
bored.
there to this?
Yeah, I know, I know. So there were lots of other cool people in Napanee though. So
I bet. Yeah,
um,
I feel like she gets all the cred, but I'm like, it's a small town, but like it's a pretty big small town.
My aunt and uncle
it,
live in Napanee.
There you go.
oh, do they?
Yeah, they're nurses. They work in at KGH. I think they both work there still.
Oh.
I
Oh,
know my aunt started her own like naturopath thing a while ago, but I don't think she's doing that anymore. Anyway,
have they always lived in Napanee or just
oh, they've lived there
recently?
for at least I want to say 18 years.
All right. So I left there 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
22, 21 years ago. I'll be 40 next
Is
month.
it
So
wild to next month?
yeah, in April I'll
Whoa.
be
Okay.
40. I know. Anyway, so
That's
growing
crazy.
up in Napanee, yeah, no. Yeah, I lived outside of Napanee in the same house. My mom was in that house for 30 years or whatever. Um, I played a lot of sports, played soccer and softball in the winter, in the summer, and then in the winter I played hockey and volleyball, and I worked all the time. There's another cat has come to visit me.
We're like Megan's
Yeah,
talking. Yeah.
yeah. No, I was always as busy as I could be, and I was very social, and you know, I would be, our kids age now, like our kids are 10, 12, and 14.
Mm-hmm.
Like at 14, I was babysitting, I was timekeeping hockey, I was reffing soccer. I started working at a convenience store. I worked at like a chip truck, like I always took whatever I could to stay busy and try to make money. And I still don't have any, but but I tried really hard. So, but Napanee was a good place to grow up.
Okay.
And I am still friends with people who live there, but I wouldn't want to live there now.
Yeah.
It's a little different now, and I don't think that it's necessarily always the best thing to have your kids grow up with your peers' kids, if that makes sense. Like
I've
with
thought about
Napanee
this.
still being small town,
Yeah. Yeah.
if Wyatt went to school there, I would know all the parents of his classmates. And I don't think we need that. We all grow and change and you
You don't want
know.
to be like
There's one of two
helped
explanations here.
to the
What?
Sorry, Jenna. Either people were mean to you or you were mean to people.
No,
Either way.
neither. Neither. No.
no.
Honestly,
No, I was
neither. No. I was never mean.
no.
You don't
I
sound
can't
like
see
someone
that.
who could be mean. No, I believe that.
I mean, I can be, but I wouldn't say that I was.
But
Yeah,
the
you weren't, like,
ability to be
actively
and then
being.
being, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, Jenna, what were you saying?
No, I think I was gonna kind of support what you were asking, Colin, in that, like, you're kind of held to a expectation of who you were when they knew you, kind of thing.
Yes.
Whereas it's like,
That's
yeah,
such a
we
good
all
point.
grow and we evolve and we change. You know, there's that sort of old adage, people don't change, and it's like, they they really do, though.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't think anybody I knew as a teenager is the same person that how can they be?
No,
Because your
I know.
life experiences, if you choose to become a parent or not, your if you travel places, like, all of those things change and shape you. And yeah, I think
Definitely.
kind of, I don't want to say repeating the cycle, but if you were to stay somewhere and then have your kids grow up in those same places, you're expected to just do that same thing over and over and over again somehow,
Yes.
for whatever
I
reason.
I agree, and that's yeah, it isn't what I want. I kind of, I like that I have my old friends from then, but I also like the
Hmm.
friends that I've made here.
Hmm.
Um and that they know this version of me, and it's okay that they didn't know me when I was in better shape and like a really good athlete and did well in school. That's fine that they didn't know that, but the version of me now is different but good too in other ways, right? And
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think all those experiences shine through in people. I don't want to say at this age, but I feel like I'm realizing, like, this is like a pretty sweet age to be, because, like, we're like the young old people.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and we don't have all the experience they have, but we can kind of see it better.
Yes, I
We're
agree.
separated from being with those young, wild people.
Well,
Yes.
experiences can vary too. It's not
Yeah,
because you're older that fucking just because you like. I hate when people
lived
try to say
longer.
their lived experience. It's not a credible source of any kind of information.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you've
Mm-hmm.
lived it doesn't mean it's accurate. Like people have
Yes.
terrible lived experiences, but it doesn't mean that's the way the world works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
And who, I'm sure you guys along with me both believe that your parents just knew everything because they were adults, right? They had to be right when you're a
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
kid, like, right? And then that,
I
and
have it on good authority that my dad is still always right.
oh, I heard he
Yes.
watches your podcast.
He does.
Hey, you'll never guess where I heard that from.
I'm glad to hear that.
Confirmed.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I find myself at this age, looking at my parents in such a different light, being like, oh, you don't know everything. Like there
Yeah.
there are things I know now that I thought you knew 30 years ago. Why don't you? Right? So, but
Who knew
we
this
we just
already?
we live in this tunnel where we're like, oh, if our parents say it, that must be life because they must know
It's true.
everything.
They're
It
the
shows how
original
much you don't
Google.
question
Yeah.
things too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you
Yes.
just, I don't know, pick any social justice issue, and everyone's got an opinion. But how often do people sit back and go, "I wonder why I have that opinion? Where did it come
Right.
from? How
Yeah,
did these thoughts get there?" And kind of like
Yeah.
deconstruct it or whatever. Or
definitely.
and you can
Yeah.
just take that to like just your regular day to day life where you wake up and basically do the same thing that you do every day in
Mm-hmm.
more or less the same order, more or less the same way, and you go, I wonder why I do this way. I wonder why I haven't changed any of these routines or behaviors or habits.
Yeah.
That's a little bit down the rabbit hole, but it's just a great way of exemplifying why the world sucks because people don't. We all we want to do is challenge other people's thoughts and opinions, but we never ever challenge our own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
discrediting yourself feels like very foreign somehow. You're just like, no, but I must trust what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah,
Without,
yeah.
yeah.
I heard
You have me reflecting here because do like I do like to think I'm right a lot of the time, but
But
maybe I'm not.
aren't you? Yeah.
well, and I mean, in how many of these situations does being right even matter?
Right. Yeah.
That's
You know,
so true.
I
Yes.
look at that
Yeah.
from a parenting point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know why I'm getting this involved. Like, this doesn't. Have you guys seen the clip of that girl losing her mind? People have been using this as a TikTok sound. She's like, I don't know. She did. I need to calm down. I'm an adult.
Yes.
Have you seen this one? It's so. I feel like that's how I parent sometimes, where I just react, and then I have to stop myself in the middle and go, why the fuck are we behaving like this? Why do we
Yeah.
care this much?
She
And that's
says
the
something like, "Why am I even getting this mad about this? I don't need to be this mad." And she's like, "Okay, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
She
Let's start
completely
again." Yeah.
stops, and it was just honestly the most
Yeah.
aware I've ever seen any human being.
It's
And to
authentic.
to do that in the middle of a reaction instead of a response is just
Yeah.
that was awesome. It was really funny to watch.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Had a question and now it's gone. It might come back. It might not. We'll see. I'll write it down next time though.
It's all right.
Something you said. Oh, no.
Hey, Megan, I got one for you.
Yeah. Go.
Yes.
Have you ever been challenged by any of the parents? Either for, some of the rules you have or decisions you've made? Because I know, like, you got to do your hot wash at the end of the day, especially if there's been any kind of an incident. Hey, this happened, FYI, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't imagine you may have. I feel like
Um.
people are pretty moderate these days, but have you ever bumped heads with any of the parents?
I wouldn't even say
It's
bumped
me.
heads.
That's why she won't say it. No. I'm
Yeah.
Oh my
Jenna's
God.
a real piece of
My-
work.
No. Jenna and Jordan are just so lovely. No.
Thanks.
I feel like you wouldn't even tell me if you had a problem, and I'd want you to tell me, but you wouldn't.
Actually, I remember. Sorry, you just made me remember something that happened in the summer. You were like, I won't get into the nitty gritty of it, but you were just
Yeah.
like, did something happen and upset you? And I was just like, what is she even? What? I was like, I feel like I'm out of the. Did an incident occur? And you were just like, no, this is what happened. Blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, Megan, no. 0%. I think if I had
What? I don't
if
even know what you're
had a
talking about,
problem-
but
no, I don't want to get into like.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Okay.
like a all was well.
Yeah.
But I feel like briefly you thought we were upset and we wouldn't be able to talk to you about things if we were upset.
Oh.
And I was like, but we've never been upset at all. I was like, this is a
Classic
very
making shit up, eh?
I was just like, oh, I don't know, but I think it ended up being an issue that you had with another family, but I don't even want to call it an issue.
Yeah,
I don't think it was an
that's
issue.
okay. No,
Yeah.
I would say that have I no one's really challenged me. I did have one parent it's really hard to be like the victim's parent if a child gets bit or hit or
Yeah,
something like
Okay,
that.
okay,
So
okay.
but I like to remind those parents that it's even harder to be the biter or the hitter's mom or dad.
Mhm.
It's even harder to hear that your child did it than receiving it.
Yeah.
So I have had a few issues where, you know, where I feel like parents want to tell me to do something that I could never and would never do to address issues
Mm.
like that. And not necessarily like challenging me personally, but just the situation.
Mhm.
And it's so unrealistic. No 2-year-old is vindictive. No 2-year-old is setting out to be like, I'm going to come to daycare and hurt everyone
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that, right?
It's a complete
We-
lizard brain response. Like,
Mhm.
Yes. And I understand the perspective of parents who are frustrated if I've told them, 3 times in a week, sorry, they got bit again, and I'm sure that they think, oh, what's going on there? Or,
now it's like, why is your child always getting bit?
yeah.
What is your child doing
And you
to
know
get
what?
bit?
Well,
All it is a clash of personalities usually,
yeah.
and a very typical toddler behavior.
Yeah, the kid
I-
walks up and goes, bite me.
I've seen children bite themselves and leave bite marks. And then the parents
Yeah.
are like, they have a bite mark. And I'm like, they bit themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
how do you
no.
write a report for that? Oh my god.
Well,
Like,
you've got cats. You must have spray bottles all over the place. Just give them
I
a
do.
couple
I do.
squirts. Stop that!
Be like, oh, I was aiming for the cat.
Yeah.
No, be honest. Well,
yeah.
you know, little Davy was
Was
baring his
behaving like
teeth.
the cat.
I swear I heard a growl, but I just sprayed him the one time and it was done. No problem.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I wonder if
Yeah,
that's like the
that would be
daycare version
effective
of like
though.
fire hose in the jail cell.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think it would. Yeah, it would be effective, but not. Maybe not appropriate.
Maybe frowned upon. It's certainly not illegal though. Like that's not
No.
assault.
I spritz the.
Unless you confuse it with your lemon water and maybe their eyes got a little sting. But
Do you want me to test it out this week? I'll let you
yeah,
know
no,
how it
for real.
goes.
We should
Yeah.
follow up on this.
Yeah, we'll do some market research. Yeah. Oh my god.
Just a little misting.
Mhm.
Catch them off guard.
You know
right?
it's serious business when you turn it 90 degrees to fucking stream instead of spraying.
Direct.
Yeah.
Yeah, direct.
I'm in sniper mode now.
Oh man.
What a dumb joke.
Oh my god, speaking of dumb jokes. So we went to see a comedy show. It was great. We got back, our hotel room. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but cable's really gone down the tubes,
Oh,
guys.
brutal.
Except for there was SNL on, and we were like, we're on a roll. Let's watch some more comedy. Very like woke ish.
Who was the who's the guest host?
Oh my gosh, Shane Gillis.
Yeah, okay. I've seen so
Was
many of
the
his
host.
clips today.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Where am I getting at with this? Yeah,
Dumb
we were
jokes.
laughing at it, and I was like, I hate that I'm laughing at this. I feel like for so many years I was like, I don't get why people find SNL funny. It's just like
What?
corny jokes.
Oh my god, I love it.
But then I found myself laughing, and I was like, oh, I get it now. It's just dumb, corny jokes, and you're just like, almost, to me, I was like, I'm almost laughing at like how silly or dumb
But do you
the
find it
skit is.
funny because it's topical humor? It's usually
Perhaps,
related to
perhaps.
something going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You're a bit
Yes,
older now,
yeah.
so you understand it or you
Yeah.
care about
Yeah.
the issues. I don't know. Like
Fair. Yeah.
I sent the guys one of obviously the Vladimir Zelensky was at the White House and
Yep.
the fucking White House was just like fuck you man for however long that meeting was. Anyway, SNL did
Yeah,
a
they were
really
just
good.
pissed off at him, and I was like, why did you guys?
Why
send
wouldn't
this
you wear a
meeting?
suit to the White House?
Yeah.
Why would you care? Why would you fucking care? Like
He's got
the man's
really
country's
big
at war.
problems. Yeah, yeah. He's got
I've got
serious problems.
thoughts and opinions on why they did that, but it's not for this episode. But Shane Gillis had I mean they're all so stupid, but they're so
Mhm.
fucking funny. I think it's
Mhm.
because he plays into that fucking big dumb idiot kind of trope that he's been rocking for a while.
Totally. Yeah.
But obviously he's incredibly smart. SNL doesn't let dumb people on their show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all like like well-read comedians.
Did you know that Shane Gillis was actually a cast member on SNL?
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I
then
didn't
he
know
was
that.
immediately fired. That's why no one knows.
Oh no, they were like,
Yeah,
you're done. Yeah.
I don't. He one of his guest host appearances after the fact. He's like, "Good to be back. Don't know if you know this. I used to work here, kind of thing." And he's like, "Don't Google it. Don't Google it." So
Yeah.
I think he said something way offside. I don't know.
It looks bad on me.
But anyway,
Oh,
I digress.
yeah. I will like before I forget. I feel like this is important to share. Colin Megan might know The Office better than you.
Doubt it. Doubt it.
Ooh.
We could.
How
do some
can we
trivias.
challenge that?
Just pull up. Just Google right now, Jenna. Like 3
Okay.
insanely difficult Office trivia questions.
Okay, 3.
And if I win,
insanely...
we do a redraw for those books.
No, that's not
No.
fair.
No.
Oh man.
About The Office.
Oh fuck! Now I gotta get it in my head.
Dun,
Gotta go to
dun,
Scranton.
dun, dun. Oh my god, they are so specific. Okay. I would not be able to answer these. I'm new to
Aw.
The Office.
Just
Okay.
just put your hand up if you know, and that way we don't have to.
Whoa. Oh my god. Sorry. I'm trying to move the window over so I can see both of you at the same time, and it's just not. It's not all right. Okay.
I'm not gonna Google the questions while we do this.
Colin, are you cheating?
No.
You already have your hand up. LOL. Okay. In the product recall episode, what specific detail does Andy use to justify his belief that his girlfriend is in high school despite her claiming to be 25?
Oh, what does he say? Oh my gosh, do you know it, Colin, already?
I know, like she's
I know the episode. I know
she's a
her.
frozen yogurt chef. That's what. Because
Is
I'm
that the
confused
an-
about the question because he doesn't know she's in high school until they go visit the high school and they
Okay.
see her.
Yeah, and he's like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah,
She's like, I go here. Yeah.
So it's not a detail that Andy, is it?
Say the question again.
Yeah, what's
Okay,
the
so
answer? Maybe it'll
in
explain.
the product recall episode, what specific detail does Andy use to justify his belief that his girlfriend is in high school?
Oh, I can't think of the answer to that. I
I don't.
know that he's having the conversation with Jim, right?
Yeah, they're
In the
in the school.
hallway,
Yeah.
in the school.
What's the answer, Jenna?
She mentions her favorite band is NSYNC, which Andy believes is a recent band despite it being a popular group from the late 90s.
Well, that trivia beat me.
All
Sorry.
right, 0-0.
So this is AI overview for the questions too. So it's I guess gathering data from the internet.
Wow. Let's see
So
if the
it's
next
doing
one
well.
is
Okay.
ridiculous.
Let's see how hard this one is. What seemingly random item does Michael Scott use as his prop in his World's Best Boss motivational speech in episode Garage Sale? And why is it significant?
Prop?
Yeah. So
Jeez.
what seemingly random item does Michael Scott use as a prop in his World's Best Boss motivational speech in the
It's
episode
not his
Garage Sale?
It's not his mug, is it?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Was it no, I'm thinking of
In the garage sale one.
is
Yeah,
that the
I
one
don't
where
know.
where
Like with the beans?
the
That
beans,
one?
yeah. That's the one I'm thinking of. I'm ready.
With
Oh,
the magic legumes that yeah.
the magic beans. It's so maybe kind of. So the answer is a tiny used magic kit, which is a subtle reference to his own lack of real magical abilities. Oh boy.
I don't,
Do you remember
That
that
is ridiculous.
part?
No.
no.
Oh,
No.
this trivia is too good. Okay, everybody's watched this one. I don't know if I know the answer, but during the dinner party episode, which people
Best
claim is the
episode.
best episode of
Best
all time.
episode. Oh yes.
Okay. What specific detail about the house does Pam mention that reveals her discomfort with the situation and Michael's behavior?
Detail about the house?
Yeah, which detail about the house does Pam mention that reveals her discomfort with the situation and Michael's behavior?
Is it the fact that she didn't start cooking dinner until they got there?
No, but that was a really shitty thing that happened.
My one of my favorite parts of that episode is actually the cute little bench at the end of the bed, and Michael says, "Oh, that's my bed."
Yeah, plenty of
Yeah.
Jan's got a space issue.
Yeah. She has
Um,
that whole is it spare bedroom is for her candles.
Serenity,
Yeah,
Serenity by
Serenity
Jan.
Yeah. Do,
Um,
do you want
is
the
it
answer?
is it something to do with when Jan makes a comment like that Pam dated Michael before, and Pam's like, "What is it? Is it
Oh.
something in that
No.
conversation?" No. Okay.
No, so it's
I don't
Oh,
know.
is it
specific
Jan?
detail about
She
the house.
the
About
house.
the house.
Yeah, I feel like that's the key to the answer.
So
like
it's not the
specific
fact that she
details of
thinks
the
Jan
house.
is poisoning her food.
Is it that
No.
none of Michael's stuff is on display? Something about that?
You're you're getting warmer.
Like because the house has been taken over by Jan and his Dundies, like oh, he had to pick between the Poly Girl sign and the Dundies. I don't know.
Yeah, not quite. Not
Is
quite,
it?
but yeah, it is something.
Well, it's not the camcorder in the bedroom.
No, but that is so fucking weird and awkward. I feel, I feel like this maybe happens
Oh,
before.
what's the
Yeah, this
answer?
is a weird
What
one.
is
So
it?
she points out that the framed picture of Michael on the wall is the exact same one that hangs in the office, highlighting the lack of personal touches and feeling of being in a professional setting rather than a home.
This is some deep trivia.
Yeah, this
page you
is
found.
AI. This is
Maybe I shouldn't have said best trivia.
those are some
Oh,
really
okay. Sorry, I found an office. Sorry, I found an office quiz that's maybe difficult, but like not so difficult. Okay, I'll do the first 3 questions. Okay, what
Sure.
is Dwight's middle name?
It's easy.
Kurt?
Yeah, it's Dwight Kurt Schrute.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yes.
Not fart.
Not fart. Yeah.
Correct. Kurt. What was Phyllis's surname before she married Bob Vance of Vance Refrigeration?
It's Lappin.
Yeah, Phyllis Lappin. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I love how they always say Bob Vance of Vance
Vance
Refrigeration.
Refrigeration. What line of work you in, Bob?
Hey Bob, what line of work you in? Yeah, that's the best.
Okay, and I think this one's actually not that difficult. What was the name of Andy's a cappella group?
Oh,
Um,
is it Here Comes Treble?
Treble. Yeah.
Yes.
Is it Here Comes Trouble? Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
comes trouble.
Yeah.
Mudbutt Brooks.
So good. You guys, okay. That one was a little I feel like that was a bit of a repeat. Those 3
You
first
know-
questions are very like fringe.
Yeah. That was. I'm gonna look those up when we're done here and ask Alex and see what he says.
Mr. Cop.
Okay, here's a good one. Are you the bigger Office fan or is Alex the bigger Office fan?
Me, because he'd
Okay.
never even watched it before I met him.
Oh,
And I
there
had
you
already
go.
watched it through I don't know how many times. So,
So
yeah,
many
but he
times.
loves it now.
Yeah.
I don't really care to compete. I just love when someone else
Oh.
loves The Office. I just
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
The Office so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to like put you both up against each other.
I
just
actually-
was like very excited that you both love The Office. so
My
much.
friend, my friend James went to he went down south for an exercise or whatever, a course or something,
Mhm.
and they traveled through Scranton on their way back, and they stopped at the
Nice.
at like the Scranton store or whatever, or the
Yeah.
So anyway, he picked me up a Dwight Schrute bobblehead.
Oh, that's awesome.
The stuff they had there was really cool, like candles with Michael Scott on Jesus's face, stuff like that. Just all kinds of crazy stuff. All, you know those
Like if you watch it,
Funko,
you get it.
Yeah.
the little Funko characters, whatever, the little plastic ones. They had
Yes.
a
Funko
ton of
Pops.
those,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
Date Mike and Prison Mike.
Prison Mike.
Prison Mike.
That's amazing.
Ah, that's awesome. That's very cool.
Cool. I feel like this is probably a good place to end it.
Yeah.
I loved this. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you for having me. I loved it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
had
great.
someone just on the chat on the live said the beans were called Mr. Copperfield's magical legumes, so we can put that on
Ah,
the list.
Yes.
Yeah,
there
great
we
name.
go.
Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Megan. I really appreciated your time and your conversation.
Thank you. Thank
There's-
you.
Oh, sorry, you
Sorry.
cut out at the end.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and congratulations! Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's the best.
Yay, winner!
Yeah.
It's not the first time that I've been a part of an announcement for a prize and then I won it.
Megan, this is just like
Just
your
an old
calling.
hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much. This was super fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know Megan before, you do know her now, and I feel like everybody, if not everybody can be friends with this Megan, I hope you have a Megan in your life. 'Cause it's the best. Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jenna.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you everyone who entered the contest, but suckers, Megan won. Uh, but hopefully you keep listening. We would love to do giveaways again in future. Yeah, and that's it. Toodles. Done. Okay. Oh, I forgot to say, don't